Well, hello again there, YouTube. Well, I thought I'd do, since I've covered the CCKW, the Crown Vic, I figured I'd do a little amateur radio this morning. So, this is the radio I was playing with when I first started the second video. And this is the Xiegu G90 20-watt HF transceiver SDR radio. I've been playing with this for, well, since I made that other video. And I gotta tell you, I like it. You can see it's super small. I have to apologize for the lighting in here, because the lighting kind of stinks. It's super ultra small. The radio is only, what, 2.5 inches or something. And I got mine with the optional cooling bracket, which is this bracket down here. It's a space that snaps on. Gives you the legs and a cooling fan. And the radio mounts into the cooling bracket. So, I'm going to try to keep my shadow off of this. So, and I got this brand new. You can get them brand new right now. The bracket and the radio in the box for $449. And I'm getting ready for the Health and Welfare Net here in southwestern Pennsylvania, which is on $39.83 this morning. And figured I'd just do this real quick. Because this is a software-defined radio, just by doing a software update, you can make any of these buttons do anything. And I kind of was a little worried that all the multi-functions built into all these, you gotta twist this one to push this one to get this button to do that. And I thought that was all going to be kind of hard to remember. But I found in very short order that it took me about a couple of hours and 2 days to figure out how to make this thing dance. And the nice part about this thing, now this screen is like an inch, it's probably 2 by 2. Okay, and I'm a little blind, but I can read it pretty good. But I'll zoom in on it here close. So, as it stands, it gives me 2 VFOs for receive. Right now I'm on 39.83. I haven't tried playing with the VFO-B yet. It gives me my S meter. And then I've got kind of a pan adapter built in with a waterfall. So that's kind of nice. And it really does work. You get a nice strong signal. That waterfall on that pan adapter really does work. And you can spread out the frequency range on this pan adapter. When you're in CW, you can change it around to decode CW by pushing and holding the button. So now if I'm in CW, see how it tries to decode CW down at the bottom? Now I tried this, playing around. It's okay. You can pick out the majority of it. The radio does a pretty decent job at trying to figure out what's what. So, and then to get it back into waterfall, you just push that same button and hold it, and now I'm back into the waterfall. So this radio is like super ultra loud. Like the built-in speaker that's on the top of this thing is like ultra super loud. It's loud enough for me, and I'm deaf. I mean, it goes pretty loud. And it's got built-in headphone jack on the side, and the other jack on the side's for the programming cable. So that's kind of nice. And then you got the power switch. This toggle, or this dial, is a multi-function dial. Let me see if I can turn on the... there we go. I'll lighten it up. So this dial right here is a multi-function dial. Okay, so right now, if I turn it, it'll adjust the signal, or the freak VFO, up by 100 hertz. Okay, now I can push it, and if you look over here, oops, this is hard to do in the camera. You can see I can control my bandwidth and a few other things. So like if I push this button right now, so now I can control the center line and my bandwidth. But just turn it, so now it turns that. So that's kind of neat. And then I gotta kind of stay off center a little bit. This button, this dial, they call it a multi-function dial. So as of right now, because I've got the white cursor around the 8, this dial changes that around. Okay, if I want to go down and get it lower, push it again. Now instead of 3, I get 4 or 5. Okay, and I can push it again and get down into the lower ones. Oh, there's Bud. I'll have to cut this short. So I'll give you some more highlights here. Maybe I'll come back in while I'm talking. I was checking on the net. But you got a function button here that expands the functionality of some of these other buttons.
Good morning, Dave. How's things here this morning?
That's Bud talking. So you got the preamp, and if you push the function button, this is also the attenuator. And then you got compressor and frequency low, noise blanker, frequency high, automatic gain control, and a special button. And then this is your VFO memory. Then you can do your memory channels here, your AB for your VFO. This is a screen lock, so if you push this lock, it locks everything out so you can't do anything. And it also controls the brightness too. The key is to set up your CW stuff. Power, adjust your power output. And these are all just quick touches. And then tune turns your tuner on and off. If you push and hold tune, it'll tune. Use the built-in antenna tuner. Yes, this has got a built-in antenna tuner in it. I'll turn this back down because that was Bud telling everybody he's there. So the antenna tuner in this thing is freaking amazing. I've got an end-fed random wire up on the back of the house, and you can see I've got a regular AC 450D, and the tuner in that is a 3-to-1 tuner. Yeah, no, just ignore my dirt. And that 3-to-1 tuner will not tune my end fed, so that's why I've got the external tuner on it. And I like that manual little manual tuner. That combo seems to work pretty good. It still has a tough time tuning 80, but it'll tune everything else up. I was just in here playing, and I hooked my same end fed antenna up to this little Xiegu and whacked a button on 80, and it tunes it. So I'm like, okay, let me try 160. So I went down into 160 and hit that tuner, and it'll tune my goofy end fed to 160. So needless to say, this has become like my go-to radio. You can switch modes, AM, FM, upper sideband, lower sideband, CW, all with the mode switch right here. And then you can switch your bands right here. Those are pretty self-explanatory. It's got a kind of like a frequency or an antenna analyzer built into it. So if I turn the tuner off and I push and hold this, oh wait, wrong one. It's this one, yeah. So there's the antenna analyzer. That's without the tuner. So that's what my end fed looks like without the tuner. And I borrowed an antenna analyzer real quick, and that built-in one is pretty spot on. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to turn the tuner on, and if you just want to make sure that the tuner did its job, I'll push tune again, push and hold it so the antenna analyzer comes up. And you can see it flat tuned it. So I'm good to 3.9. And you can hear it clicking in there. And it sounds like any other antenna tuner. You're pushing. And there it is. It liked it. So I'm going to play around with this. Maybe I'll bring you back when I check into the net and let you see it. But for right now, that's the short, quick and dirty version of my G90. Now there's some more stuff. There's some stuff on the back. But yeah, I'm kind of digging this little radio. It's kind of cool. The mic's great because you can basically run the whole radio from the microphone. So if you were going to do this mobile installation, which you absolutely could, because it's only maybe 7 inches wide. The whole thing's maybe a foot deep. But the bonus is this faceplate comes off of here and it remote mounts. And they give you the separation cable when you buy the radio. So you can put that transceiver part under a seat or something and then just mount the faceplate. And then you can run, like I said, you could run the whole radio off the microphone. And you can literally run the whole thing off of the microphone. There's nothing you can't do with this radio that's not on this microphone, which is kind of neat. So far I'm really impressed with it. I haven't taken it out other than going out in the garage and hooking it up to my Wolf River Coils TI 1000, which not through the radio's fault, but through my fault. I can't seem to get to work down in 80. But I did a lot of contacts on 40 with that combination on the battery, and it seemed to work pretty good. But playing with it here in the house on my end-fed, it works really well. I'm very impressed with it. And I'm just running this off of a little Radio Shack 15 amp power supply. According to the instructions, the whole thing at 20 watts takes 8 amps max draw, which is pretty incredible actually. So maybe I'll bring it back when I'm checking into the net. We'll see. It depends on how the band is today. But yeah, that's it. That's my little review on my Xiegu G90. 20 watt, I guess you could kind of call it QRP, SDR radio.
Any other stations, Beaver County this morning? Good morning, Nick. November 3, Oscar, Juliet Papa. Any other stations, Beaver? Nothing heard. We'll go move to Butler County. Kilo Bravo 3, Yankee, Whiskey Uniform. Good morning, Marianne. Kilo Bravo 3, Yankee, Whiskey Uniform. We have you. How about Kilo 3, David, Charlie, Golf? Good morning. It's K3, DCG. No traffic. Good morning, K3, DCG. We have you. How about November 3, Whiskey Hotel? Good morning from November 3, Whiskey Hotel. No traffic. Good morning. Do I have any of the stations in Butler County? Whiskey Alpha 3, Golf, Delta, Sierra. Dan, all is good here. You are you, and good morning to the net. Okay, I had a double there. The one that said good morning to the net. Can you hear call again, please? Whiskey Alpha 3, Golf, Delta, Sierra. Dan, everything good here in Butler County, in our place. And you are you. Good morning to the net. Okay, good morning. Whiskey Alpha 3, Golf, Delta, Sierra, all is well. And the other station, please. Whiskey 3, Tango Lima November. Tom, we have you as well. Any other stations, Butler? Kilo Bravo 3, Tango Bravo Tango. Good morning, everybody. Kilo Bravo 3, Tango Bravo Tango. Have you all as well. Any other stations, Butler County? Okay, nothing heard. Let's go to Fayette County. Fayette County with Washington County now. My call is November 3, Tango India Romeo. Washington County and no traffic. Now tomorrow, K3LR will be net control, and I'll be his backup. How about New York Yankee 9 Hotel? Okay, Bill. New York Yankee 9 Hotel, no traffic. Good morning. November 3, India Delta Hotel. Good morning, Bud. M3 IDH. Good morning, N3 IDH. Have you? How about Kilo Charlie 3 Tango Oscar Mike? AC3TOM, all is well. Thank you. Any other stations in Washington County?
Good morning, Bud. Kilo Charlie 3 Echo Kilo Zulu. Randy, no traffic.
Good morning, Randy. KC3 EKZ. Good to hear you and your S9 out here, Randy. Do I have any other stations in Washington County? Okay, let's go to Westmoreland County. Westmoreland County. How about Kilo Echo 3 Papa Oscar?
Okay, so that gives you an idea. That was Bud. That was me talking to Bud. You heard him say I was an S9, but he's only about 20 miles away as the crow flies from me, so I would expect that. But yeah, 20 watts. That works pretty well. So that's my little take on the Xiegu G90. I can't find anything bad about it yet. If I do, I'll keep you posted. But so far, I'm really impressed with this little radio. And the nice part about this is it's got the latest firmware in it. You can update the firmware yourself. And they're constantly pushing out firmware revisions. Right now it's up to 1.74, which is the latest. Every time they push out a firmware update, they either fix something or add a feature, which is the nice part about an SDR radio. So there you go. Once again, I love it. For the money, you can't beat it with a stick. And I think it's heavy enough. I mean, you can tell there's some quality here. I mean, for being a Chinese radio, this thing's built like a military grade kind of radio. It's got cooling heat sinks all over it. I wish I could say more about the cooling stand. I'm not a big fan of the cooling stand because on the underside of the cooling stand, they left it all open. Which, if you're in a house or sitting on a desk or something, I guess it's okay. But when you're trying to pick it up, the fan and the little circuit board behind the fan is all exposed. It's not ideal. I may build a little cover around it. You see it's got holes on the side of it. I may build a little, that's a crummy picture, but I might build a little enclosure to go around the back of it to at least protect the circuit board side of it. The nice thing that little bracket does is, I'll go to this side, when you get the cooling bracket, you can use the supplied power connector. Here, let me turn some lights on here. Maybe. There we go. So this is the factory provided connector. When you buy this cooling bracket, you can take the connector they gave you that goes on the back of the radio and plug it into the cooling rack, and then they got another little pigtail on the back that just connects it up through. And then if you don't want to use their connector, they give you a set of Anderson power poles to connect to it. So if you've already got everything set up for Anderson power poles, they're already there for you. So that's kind of a neat little feature, that they gave you a set of Anderson power poles. So now you have the choice, either using the stock connector or a set of Anderson power poles. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm real impressed with it. So, well, there you have it. So until the next video, this is Randy saying, in this case, 73s. Be safe and have a good day.